here at 2005's Rage in the Cage. It's the street fight between the Modern Miracle, Steve Madison, and 911 Incorporated's Miami Pound Machine, Rod Steele.
Lenny Leonard, the X Factors in this match. You see them with him, the members of 911 Incorporated, the Florida champion Bruce Steele, who's now hobbling to the back, and your other broadcast partner, Ron Nemi, takes on a whole new persona out there in front of the fans. No love lost between him and Steve Madison, and this is going to be an absolute war.
The feud between Steve Madison and 911 Incorporated has gone on for well over a year. Last year's Rage in the Cage, Madison in an intense fight inside of that cage trying to regain the Florida title from Todd Shane. And what a brawl that match was, and I'm sure this is going to be just the same as Rod Steele takes a seat on the outside. And we're about ready to go here with a street fight at Rage in the Cage 2005.
Madison's match last year was not only one big ugly brawl, it was also one hell of a bloody match. And this is a street fight. I can't imagine we're not going to see more of the same. No blood yet at Rage in the Cage 2005. I got a feeling that might change right here.
It would not shock me at all to see these two men pay the price of a wrestling lifetime here. There is such intense hatred between Steve Madison and every single member of 911 Incorporated. As you see, Madison's already got the belt off. He's got the boots taped up, Dusty Rhodes style, circa 1973. And Rod Steele is ready to go right now as Ron Nemi on the outside. This match is going to be an all-out war, no doubt about it.
Anything goes in a street fight. The referee cannot count them out. They can use whatever they want. There will be no disqualification. Fans, this war is going to end, or maybe it's not. I don't know. It seems like 911, no matter what, is going to let Steve Madison go, but both guys will surely be trying to end this long and bloody feud.
Madison caught in a waistlock by Steele. Takes him to the outside. Nice move by Madison, dropping down, sending Steele out to the floor. Madison standing there ready to go. He takes himself to the other side as Rod Steele's in trouble. And off
You're kidding me!
Unbelievable. Through the second rope with a punch up right onto Rod Steele on the floor. And this one has started off in a hurry. And Rod Steele is in trouble quickly here in a street fight at Rage in the Cage.
Both guys go well into the seats of our fans there, not even phasing Steve Madison. He is primed and pumped, looking a little bit jacked for this match. But Rod Steele, he's a crafty veteran. He, with his forearms all taped up, he knows what he's doing out there.
What he's doing out there is getting his head handed to him. Madison connects with a couple of big right hands and bounces his head off the apron. Takes a soda can, or excuse me, a bottle of Gatorade it was, and just cracks it over the skull of Rod Steele, and again he sends him to the apron, and Rod Steele is in all sorts of trouble here on the outside early at the hands of Steve Madison.
Giving the fans what they came for early, already taking it to the outside. I thought they may stay in the ring for a little while. And Steve Madison with the weight belt choking the life out of Rod Steele.
Right around the throat, Star Stevens there, not admonishing Steve Madison. As we said, anything goes in this match. He was there just waiting to see if Rod Steele was ready to give up, but not yet at this point in the match as Madison again connects with a big right hand in a second, and Rod Steele is in trouble. He's rocked on the outside, and Madison now is taking him through the hordes of people here at the Brandon All-Stars, some 500 strong, on hand this year to watch Rage in the Cage, and Steve Madison with a chair is about to do some serious damage on the outside as he has Rod Steele set up for a pile driver on the floor, right on the chair, and Rod Steele is in all sorts of trouble right now.
Okay, we had a match a few days ago in Ybor City where Steve Madison did the same thing there to Rod Steele. They absolutely killed each other there, the masquerades in Ybor City. That was merely 5 days ago. These guys back out there doing it again. Most men wouldn't even be able to walk. They're out there beating the living hell out of each other one more time.
And Rod Steele has already been busted open. Just a couple of minutes into this match, he's been lacerated in the forehead, and he just catches a big boot right in the chops on the floor as Star Stevens looks on, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop Steve Madison, and he is on a mission to take out Rod Steele and 911 Incorporated right here in Brandon, Florida.
And here comes Nemi.
Unbelievable. Ron Nemi, it's a street fight, anything goes, and like I said, the hatred between 911 and Steve Madison knows no bounds. Even Ron Nemi trying to get involved, and he's caught with a couple of right hands after he jumps Steve Madison from behind.
And the people that might come out to save, and the people you might think of, but Quartermain, he's got a Southern title match later tonight, and did you hear that, Lenny? You've got a guy like James Hendricks, he's got his Florida heavyweight title match. Oh, and the chair right across the head. I'm afraid Steve Madison just might be on his own out here. Too much on the line for these other contestants later on at Rage in the Cage.
In a street fight, it is every man for himself. Rod Steele just bounces a chair off the top of the skull of Steve Madison, and his eyes are crossed as maybe Rod Steele here getting a second win as he's starting to take over on Steve Madison, who was trying to make his way back to the ring and the relative safety of the ring, believe it or not.
Steve Madison always at home in the ring. He can go out there and brawl with the best of them, but absolutely one of the best technical wrestlers this sport has ever seen. Rod Steele, the consummate wrestler. He can take it to the air, well, a little bit. He can brawl with you, but mostly he's going to outthink you in that ring, and as everybody knows, he'll outtalk any man alive.
Any man alive indeed, as the blood pouring still from the forehead of Rod Steele, and Steve Madison is in trouble. There's some blood on his forehead. He may have been busted open by that chair on the outside himself as Rod Steele sends him out to the floor. Madison, I don't know where he's going, but he's taking a ride for the outside. Rod Steele now following him. Star Stevens coming down to chase these two men around this crowd here at Brandon, and Steele connects with a big boot, and Madison has indeed been busted open. The chair just lacerated the top of his head, and Steve Madison now is a bloody mess on the outside, and Rod Steele is going to work with big taped right hands, and Steve Madison is in all sorts of trouble here with another right hand from Rod Steele.
Steve Madison definitely looks to be in trouble, but I tell you what, one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, Madison may be taking the beating, but Rod Steele is following Steve Madison. No matter where this match goes, it looks like Steve Madison wanted it there, and if he can survive this initial onslaught by Rod Steele, the emotion from these fans and the heart that lies in this kid is going to take him to victory. Rod Steele needs to take this match home right now.
Not just the emotion of these fans, but the absolute hatred between Steve Madison and Ron Nemi knows no bounds. For well over a year and a half, these two have gone at it, whether it's the Shane brothers, Bruce Steele, who took the Florida title from Steve Madison when he had a chance to get it back, whether it's right there, the deep dick, and that might be all. Star Stevens down, count of 1, 2, and Madison kicks out.
Barely gets his shoulder up. I thought it would take more than that to get Steve Madison down, and it looks like I was right, but just barely. Rod Steele, that's what I said. He needs to go ahead and put him away right now. Put him away while he can. Do not rest on your laurels, or this kid will come back.
Yeah, like I said, Steve Madison just, no matter who it's been against in 911 Incorporated, he just never gives up. He's always coming back. He sends himself off the ropes, and he's caught with a spine buster right there. And Rod Steele may have Steve Madison beat if he can just follow up right here.
But Rod Steele, obviously worn out himself, taking his time to get the cover. He is hooking the leg, but that time might cost, and it does.
Oh.
The time cost him as Steve Madison again barely getting up. And look at Rod Steele, a bloody mess himself.
The blood just pouring here from both men's heads as they both have been busted open here at the Brandon All-Stars in front of 500 people here for Rage in the Cage 2005. Madison's in trouble. Star Stevens is checking on the cut on the top of his head from that steel chair, and Rod Steele knows he might be easy pickings right here if he can just put him away. He has Madison, and he's setting him up for a pile driver of his own here. On the outside, it was Madison who dented Rod Steele's head with a chair on the floor with a pile driver, and he's going for one of his own here. But can he get him up as Madison's fighting with everything he has him up across the top of his shoulder? What's he going to do with him here? He's going to set him up on top. Big right hand from Madison, and Rod Steele is in trouble. He's hanging on the top rope, and another right hand from Madison who's going to follow him up. Star Stevens again on the outside checking on Madison, who's setting Rod up for a superplex here. If he hits it, it could be all over right here in Brandon. Big superplex on the top. Unbelievable. Rod Steele just gets dropped right in the center of the ring here at the Brandon All-Stars, and he is in all sorts of trouble. But Madison, the blood flowing from his head, cannot follow up as the crowd here solidly behind Steve Madison, trying to will him to victory here if he can just float over and cover Rod Steele.
Listen to these fans like you just said, Lenny. Steve Madison trying to get these fans behind him, but both these guys absolutely spent. They are bloody messes. They are beaten and bruised from a whole week, hell, months of fighting each other. If you want to get right down to it, Steve Madison doesn't even look like he knows where he is.
Yeah, he may have a concussion here because he looks like the lights are on, but nobody's home. He's going on guts and instinct right here, and he is staggering around the ring. Both these guys in trouble. A big right hand, but Rod Steele ducks it. One of his own, Rod Steele ducks, but he's caught with a knee lift by Madison. Still having the presence of mind to connect, and a big axe bomber takes him down. This could be it right here if Madison can follow up, but he may have a concussion. As I said, he is slow to follow up, and instead of covering him, he's going to pick him up. This could be a mistake right here by Madison, but he's going for a pile driver. He has him again in the center of the ring, and he drops him right on the top of his head. Madison hooks the leg. Star Stevens down. 1, 2, and 3.
That's
Steve
it.
Madison has done it here at Rage in the Cage 2005. He puts away Rod Steele in an absolute bloodbath. But here is Ron Nemi again to try and take this kid out. Man, I have never seen anybody just hate somebody the way Ron Nemi hates this kid.
Ron Nemi has irrational hatred for Steve Madison. That's for sure. And I tell you what, Steve Madison gives it right back. Oh, axe bomber on Ron Nemi. Oh, here comes one for Rod Steele. Some rice to the head. Rod Steele, you better get out of there, baby.
Another axe bomber takes Steele off his feet. And man, this feud has been going on for a year and a half, and it doesn't look like it's over yet here at Rage in the Cage 2005.